way because you can't see into the high banks. But you'll see we've just got our normal setup for our drills as we typically do with our flags in place for defenders. Tonight we've also got the cones in place for marking the ruck as we often have done in the past as well. And we're going to go back to something that we haven't done for a while, and that's having a halfback in place. And they'll be bringing the ball back between the cones. If it's in the middle of the cones, just think that ball's in the middle of the ruck. Okay, so it's being contested for, it's not won yet. Right? Once they heel the ball back towards the back, then you know that the ball is available, or at least the contest is over in there. Okay. What they're going to do next? Well, what would we look for next to the halfback?
Which way they're going.
Which way they're going? What are they going to do with their body?
Leg lock or
their legs.
In the direction they're going to go.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Right. Sweet. So after the legs sitting up. Okay. And that's your trigger. Okay. So if you're coming in from where Pete is, from this side, and you've set yourself up here, and your halfback's turned this way, where are you going to transition through?
Jockey.
So ideally, where do we want to be as the pass is being thrown?
Behind the jockey.
So someone's going to put themselves in the position, like literally as I'm unleashing the pass over the ruck. Someone's going to put themselves in a position, where do they kind of want to be?
Halfback.
Yeah. They're pretty much in that, like in the pocket of that halfback. Okay, so right there, you don't want to be. You always don't want to be too far. And I know personally when I was giving this a crack earlier in the season, that's what's happening to me. I was getting there too early. Until I was having to stop, and then I was losing momentum. So that caused a few issues for me early on in the season, and I adjusted after that. But you want to try and be in the pocket, so literally the pass is gone, and you're just sitting behind the halfback there. In an ideal world, it's never going to happen that when 100 times out of 100. Ball coming back in, and if he turns this way, where are we going?
T-line.
In the D-line, yeah. Sweet. So you're stepping in, and then you're having a look. Okay. What we'll do. So tonight's all about the timing. It's not ending up in there too early, or it's not ending up in there too late. So if you're still standing here, and he comes out and he's passing, and then you're stepping, well, it's a bit late because you're going all the momentum go that way, and then where do you need to go? Back that way as well. And similarly, if you are stepping in there too early, and he does a bit of a change of mind, or he hasn't set himself up yet, or he goes the other way, you've got a long way to run really, really quickly to be able to make the correct decision if things break down. Okay, so it's all about thinking about that timing. Ideally, you should have enough time if you get in there. So it's literally a step, turn, have a look, and then by the time that it's taken you to have a look back, the ball's probably off and away, and you're going as well. That's the amount of time that you probably want to spend in there. It's only a couple of seconds. In an ideal world. Okay. Again, it doesn't happen all the time, then you'll see that tonight when we show you some clips. So what we'll do, we've got two set up. Hopefully that's not too dark down that end. It looks like it might be okay. Might struggle a little bit down this end with the bright lights if you're coming in from this side, but we'll see. What we'll do is we'll get a couple of people just acting as halfbacks just for the meantime. Okay. And then what we'll do, we'll rotate you around so you can get an opportunity as referees. What we can do, guys, if we can set up completely on like everyone, if we can split our group in half and just between the two stations, all set up on one side, so that we're arriving from like the left-hand side, and then everyone go through that, and then all come in from then you line up on the right side, then all come in from the right side, just so we're getting practice at coming in from different sides as well. Does that kind of make sense? I can come over and have a second. You over here?
Right, who's going first, guys?
Hands out.
Yeah.
else got anything additional for going too early or moving too early?
Yeah, well, we talked about that ruck may not actually be completely finished if you go too early. So there may be infringements or something happening in there that you miss.
Yeah, counter up.
Yeah. So you might be missing. Yeah, so you may not be, if you go too early, missing any contest. That you might have to rule on not being a good because it's not as easy from the D line to see that or wherever you might be. Yeah. Anything in addition for going too early over here?
There's more bouncing the right, like bouncing that way and the ball going that way, so you're standing in your ouch.
And then, what's the effect that's going to have if you're already gone there and then it goes out there? What's the flow-on effect?
You're going to be late for the next one.
Exactly. Late for the next one and perhaps miss the...
And all those players in between you and
Yeah.
If you go before the contest's over,
Yeah.
the defensive team tend to follow where the referee's going and you pull them forward too early, which is detrimental to the
Yeah, well,
ball.
if you go too early into the D line,
Yeah.
and you haven't gone right the way to them, which you don't, you tend to,
Yeah.
well, that D line comes up to you and you may be a metre in front of where the offside line should be.
anything for going too late or any other thoughts or comments ahead?
Too late, you're going to have to work harder to get to the next breakdown.
Yeah. Why is that? Because how so? How are you going to work harder? You did right, but
Yeah. Well, you're behind. You're behind the play. You're behind the way the ball's gone. So you're going to have to work into.
that ball's coming there and then you're moving too late. That ball's already getting past, and then you're stepping. All your momentum go that way, and you want to go back that way. Exactly. You're right. Yeah. Anything else about going too late at all?
You just limit your, often you go, I think we discussed, you go late because you've spent too much time focusing on the contest, so you probably have a little bit less time to manage offsides.
You cut down the decision making time
Yeah.
at the next breakdown.
Particularly, yeah, because particularly no matter which way you go, and just on that offside thing, no matter which way you go, if you go to the D line, your offside management is that, one of the things is a quick glance out that way. If you're too late, then that's already happened. Yeah, and if you're going through the chariot or the jockey, then you're having a look at the offsides as you go through as well, with your eyes up ahead of where the play's going. You're too late again, you're missing it.
Well, you've no opportunity to pinpoint the players that are on side, so you're turning, even the option where you're turning and they're coming at the same time, I don't think, ever within yourself you should be able to call an offside in that situation because there's no way at all if they left on time or not.
I've been thinking about what we're going to do, guys. We should have a quick look at some clips now. We've had limited opportunities of video this year, and I wanted to make it as relevant as possible rather than take Super Rugby clips. Because in Super Rugby, to be fair, their positioning is often looks quite different to what we have to use in community rugby. So I've taken clips from a couple of games, a couple of Super Rugby games that we've had so far. What I want you to really look at, again, just think about everything we've been through tonight, the pros, the cons, the consequences as well. When you look for the telltale signs with our halfbacks, with our breakdowns, what's happening there, and the triggers that you have in your mind for when to move. Okay. Intentionally clips a whole range of things here. So there's examples of really good timing and transitions in here. There's examples of really bad timing. There's examples of where we get it wrong, we go the wrong way, and then we have to do afterwards. And you got to get those in a game. It's about what you do afterwards and how hard you have to work. But the purpose of this is try not to get distracted by the rest of the game. Really just focus on the positioning, the timing, and what the triggers are. That'll probably just help us there. So I know we've got a screen here, and I know you guys will work back there. So I did also, for anyone who wanted to, I don't know if people wanted to get around like a device in their groups or something like that as well. But if you do want to do that, then I've got the web links as well for these videos. So if you did want to get in your group or go somewhere else, totally up to you, or I can just play them through on here and you can have a little chat about them. Sweet. Happy days. Cool. Again, we won't have We won't do whole group chats afterwards. What we'll do, we'll stick in our small groups for our conversations, because that way we'll have more opportunity for more voices to be heard within our groups. Okay, that's really good. So just having a quick look, what I'll do is just make a mental note. I'll just go and play. There's about 5 sequences per. I've got 2 sets of 5 or 6 sequences. So I'll just play our sequence and then I'll pause it. And you can have a little chat. Do you want me to play that one again? So you can just retune into it? I'll just play that one sequence again and you can have a little chat. Okay, have a little chat in your groups.
What are we trying to critique here, or are we just watching it where it wants?
You point out each time. We'll just maybe stop after each one and point it out.
Our rep group just commented on how good looking the referee was.
Yeah, I was hoping that would come up actually.
Particularly Estelle.
Didn't come up in our group.
Pretty much every person mentioned that, so yeah.
No, we didn't. We just gave it like on top.
Yeah, you're like, every time I look at these videos, I see. And I curse my old man for it, so.
Wisdom.
Now they join the club.
Third breakdown. Yes.
You were caught tightly.
The halfback looked like he was going to come open. Was that your thinking there?
Yeah, so I had a look here, and then I looked and I saw he shake his legs this way, and then I'm scanning, going back that way, and then he switched again. And I was like, yeah, sweet.
But Cam, the first 2, you're actually good because you're on your feet and you're moving quickly. So you're on your toes the whole time, preparing to move in the first 2. So as soon as you change direction, you were off. You were ready.
What's the shape? I guess what's the pattern I'm drawing on the ground each time, more or less?
Bit of a Z.
Each time. So across, going up, Z each time. So that's that same way of play, even though I got the last one wrong. But again, it's a work rate that you didn't have to put in. You do have to put in hard yards after then to be able to get it, because he was often away down that touchline so quickly by that point, and I had traffic and everything to get through. So yeah. Anyway, carry on. All right, set 2. Ignore what the warm infringement man. Okay, I'll just play that one again, but you can chat about it in your groups while I'm actually too much on loop now, just while you can have a look at it. So you can chat about it in your groups while you're watching.
He wasn't expecting that play to cut back.
Do keep moving.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting the player to come back in the traffic. But he just shuttled across.
You getting offside there?
Yeah.
they come up. Yeah. That's awesome.
Cam sort of coming too close, and then we
Yeah. Come right up.
shuffle it back to
Bang.
get into the next.
Next. Yeah.
Was that the hook that had to shuffle you back?
You're right. That's an obvious one. Yeah. Bet the ball. They bet the pass.
It was almost as it would have been past the lock speed.
Cool, so intentionally showing you a bit of a messy one. I picked out a few different ones. This is obviously, this is rugby, so any just observations you want to share, pills of wisdom? There's a bit less chatter from that one.
I think on that one you actually came into the back of the ruck situation, got a bit caught up. If you had taken the Z, as you called it, and gone straight to the position you are now, you would have identified everything pretty quickly and been out of the way. So you sort of went in, I think, assuming that the ball was going to go the other side. So out there you get knocked, and then you got to get out of it, and then you go across, and you're in a pretty good position right there to see what was happening. Now, if you had gone straight there, you would have been, you wouldn't have got bumped, and you would right there for seeing everything earlier, probably, and maybe been able to talk them out of it too.
And then, definitely overran that and then got caught too close.
I think when you went into that jockey position too, as we were saying, using it as a transition, I think you got yourself a little bit flat-footed.
I stopped completely.
Stopped.
On my heels. Yeah. For me, that was a reset.
So
I was like, right.
yeah, that's good, but you probably should have kept moving.
Because they didn't break the advantage line on that, where you got caught up.
For me, I got in so much no man's land here. Then I'm like, no, stuff out. I'm just going to reset, get in there, and stop, and start again. And then I ran the next one as well anyway. So that's all right. Cool. Right, I'll show the next set anyway. Unless anyone got in there. Okay. This one's a different phase of play. That's literally, you can have a chat about now, that's literally just those two, so it's quite obviously a different, it's an exit, so. Just have a think about, and discuss in your groups, what is happening in the game in this moment, and then where could I possibly stand in a better position, or is that the right position?
I think you'd find where you were.
Yeah, I don't know if you had a lot of choice. Where else were you going to get to?
There was only a few players in the ruck more.
It was only the sideline, really.
You stay away from the jockey in that situation.
You were fine there.
Yeah.
You were absolutely fine.
Because they're exiting.
They're only going to come back one way.
Yeah, the way the players charging too.
Yeah, the perfect position to watch if they charge together.
Yeah.
Here's I'm sort of just hearing a few of the comments there. Here's a scenario. What if at this moment here, so they're bringing the ball back. What if here there's a charge down?
You're far away.
You're inside the 22, so you're right.
Yeah.
Still moving.
You're going in the direction.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing. So we
Any thoughts particularly on that first transition and the timing of that first transition? This one here.
What's happening? It's just taking a little step.
Yeah, it was a counter rope, but again, it was probably safe.
Yeah, like I think you were a touch early, but
Yeah.
you picked the right time.
But you're also quite far there.
Yeah.
Because it looked like it was going to come, and you just hit it.
Right, I'll just roll on to the next one here. has a line through it.
Chat about it.
Yeah.
Move on to the next one.
It was probably,
If you gave yourself more width, which enabled you to manage the game better.
It's probably just this part here you got a little bit static watching, but then you worked it out after that. I think you were
Got
just
out of the way.
you were just there getting out of the way, resetting yourself. But I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with any referee that does that.
That's just what I wanted to find a clip that had just a couple of ones that came back the other ways and then had the same way. So good. Alright, cool. Roll on.
Because you're obviously comfortable, you could see the ball and what was happening. Scrap again.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is just a couple of short ones, but I just wanted to show, just look at what's happening at the breakdown each time and when I choose to go.
That was better transition.
Yeah. What was the difference between the two, I guess, in terms of breakdown?
The second one looked like you were managing it quite hard, so you were getting focused on what was happening on the breakdown rather than transitioning early.
I think we're getting pretty comfortable with those as well, so I'll just play through these ones now and then I'll get to the next ones.
All out there, mate.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Twice in a row.
Yeah. Pain in the ass halfback there.
You're like, oh, here you go. Penalty against.
Yeah.
I haven't got time to get the position, so
Yeah,
I'll get a penalty.
Exactly. So I'll just show you, just watch, there were a couple of ones there, the halfback just went a different way, just look at what again it caused me to do. Yeah. So again, it's probably not a good example that way, I was managing the ruck anyway. Cool, alright.
But with those, I think that, to me, highlighted that discussion in our group we had about the moving late. Like if you had have moved late there, 100% you would have got hit by the ball, but because you were moving on time, it gave you enough time to stop. So although it wasn't a perfect position, because you moved on time, it enabled you to pick up that he actually had changed direction, so you could stop and not get hit by the ball. Whereas if you were leaving late, I think 100% you would have just got the ball fired straight at you.
Alright, now this game looks quite different. And we get different camera angles as well from this one as well, so let's have a little look. Yeah, I know how he did it. I'm just going to talk through some of the notes for this one. So he said this first set, he said it's a good demonstration on transitioning out to get some width. So he says that he does it, you know, in most phases. Just gets width away from the breakdown. He does get a bit tangled up. Wasn't quite flat enough, he said, on that occasion, but just getting nice and wide once he knows it's managed. And he says that he didn't work hard enough to get back in line in both phases as well. Is this the next step? No, that's that one. Cool. Any, do you want to go through that one again at all, or are you guys happy just to roll through?
Just roll through them up.
Okay, sweet. Just sing out if you guys want to talk about anything here. at the start of these ones. Here we go. So, particularly when he transitions here, so it's literally a step, turn, scan, and he's probably a bit early there, but exit. But he does it again here. It's just a nice demonstration. He doesn't actually have to spend too long in that D line. Not this one, it's the next one coming up. So he comes across, gets there, step, turn, scan, and then exit. And you're up there for...
Notice he stands twice as well.
Yeah. And he saw he had the time for it. Yeah, still one, we're good. Let's go. This is a goal line. I'll be a goal line phase.
Doesn't he get a fine though when he returns to his foul camp? Not knowing the rules?
That was, yeah. So to call me to 18 minutes before the game.
I could tell on the boys going last week, he rang up camp about 14 minutes before the game to start clarifying a couple of rules for secrets.
Nothing wrong with that.
He said to do it after.
This one he talks about a little bit. So he comes in and he said that he probably got in here a little bit early, misread the counter ruck and almost got his leg broken. And then the second phase, so it's nice and slow. Chariot, you can go use the chariot for slow ball. That's more than fine. You can actually get in there, particularly, but also think about where you are on the field as well. So you're right near the goal line. So you're getting into that in that moment where you actually probably do need to make sure you can go either way as well. So different positions for different areas as well. Right, there's another goal line attack one, I think. This one. Kind of very hard to find any midfield clips in this. So let's go back to the start of this one. He talks about
Was it the one where he went into the jockey? Probably should have just stayed open.
Okay, so it's like just the previous one, sorry. Okay, that's right. So he talks about this one where he had to work really hard, so he was at the front of the line out. So this is just coming up. In the front of the line, he had to work really hard to get across. He ran straight lines. Again, that's what Sam was talking about now very clearly. Straight lines across the field. Use the transition across the field, but then he talks about just getting out of the way because of he was thinking he felt the presence of those defenders there, and he didn't know if he had a gap also to move into. So he said that he also got out of the way for that as well. So just be mindful that I guess where you can actually go on the field too.
Yeah, to me that was one of those safety position things, like that was his safety, whereas when you did it in your game, I think your safety was going into the D line, which is fine. If you're uncomfortable, go somewhere that you're comfortable.
So when he does it here, you can see he does it in plenty of, he knows he's not going to get in the way. So he's like, no, I'm going to get there, get out of the way, and then go from there and reset. So just know that you can actually have those safeties and those options in your pocket if you need to. You don't always have to be scripted.
He keeps moving, eh?
He's shuffling
On his toes.
Just little steps out.
I'm just not getting content with the position as well. He's happy to keep searching, keep moving for a better position. That's what I like about it.
How's that clean?
Not looking for that, mate.
No. Because I'm talking about this line for mine, so I put it very much.
He's looking for fellows, I think.
That's that safety here.
So yeah, you could tell he was, by the way he was standing, he was feeling a bit uncomfortable, so he just slotted into that safety position. But then was quick enough to move out of it.
This is a good. It doesn't. The camera angle doesn't show it very well here, but with this one you can see that he comes across. He doesn't have time to set himself, but he is running in dead straight line, so he doesn't have to run any arcs. And then as soon as it breaks up the field, he's just straight on up the field. He's always there on the money. So in straight lines, save yourself some running. That's probably the best there. That was pretty much it. But the key messages that so I guess if someone wants to have a little chat in your groups right now, just I guess to rein it all in and just think about what we did out there. Think about I guess some visual application up on the screen now. What were some of those triggers that we're looking at? What were some of the I guess the consequences or the pitfalls of going one way or another or going too early or too late? And what are some options I guess we have in terms of timing? Just have a little chat, try and wrap it all up, and to just give us some key messages for the session tonight from your groups. So we'll give you about two or 3 minutes just to have a chat. What are the key messages to take out tonight in terms of timing? Can you pop out over here in terms of timing and wanting to add on to them?
Mine was just to not get so close to that ruck, being intent on being on top of the ruck, is getting that little bit wider out. So watching the clips and going over some of the more senior guys out there was just getting that width a bit more, rather than being too close in and then getting caught up.
What is the danger, and not just of physically where you're standing, what is the danger if you are standing too close?
Yeah, well, you're not, your peripherals aren't working as well.
You're seeing a tunnel vision, you got to see one thing. Team over here.
Well, the biggest thing for me is don't be in a rush to make a decision. So I found that I've done that a few times myself. If I got there late, felt panicked and felt I had to make a decision. And then I'll sit there and go, was that the right one? Is that actually the right one to be made?
So even with your timing as well, not to rush that.
Yeah.
Cool. Make sure you do have your clear in your mind about what the trigger is, and if you do have a contest that's going on, you want to make sure you can manage it effectively.
Yeah.
I think it's clear, watching some of the referees who just run all over the show. When you watch Nick be like that, he hardly even got out of the job. He was just sort of, and yet he was in almost a perfect position every time. He was just...
And that's what a lot of those straight lines will do for you as well. The more straight lines you can run, it's just what is it? Maths, isn't it? Shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Now, if you're running arc like this, imagine all the extra, you might run extra K in a game, just doing that the whole time when you just do that. So it takes its toll, particularly when you have to, those sometimes have to be at pace as well. So yeah. Some of the thoughts just to make sure we cover those off. So yeah, so just thinking that that transition into the D line, just that little, it's almost like a dance, isn't it? It's like you step, you turn, you scan, and then you exit. So it's like a little dance move that you got. So as long as you've got enough time to do that and you're not doing it too early, and get that rhythm, because I noticed that that's probably the one thing from my own reflection, from my clips, is that particularly in those early clips I didn't have that rhythm. There was a bit more stop-start. That's actually that was my first reflection on that whole game as well, was stop-start in my head. So it was pretty key to see that on video and get that sorted out. So key to timing into the D-line. So if you go into the D-line as 9 passes, then you're too late. If you go there and your contest is on, you're standing there and the contest is still happening, then that's your trigger that you're too early. So just make sure you can adjust in your game to do that. Lastly, then if you're transitioning through the chariot, just remember that you are actually say this is breakdown, that's breakdown. As you're coming in, you're not just sort of transitioning through the chariot each time. That you are actually coming in, just sort of step into that post and come through. Step in and just come through. Just square yourself up each time. Step in and come through. Run those. Make that little Z as you go through each time. It's something that you don't, and Nick also says as well, is you rarely see it at Super Rugby. They often just go bang, there's chariot. But that's why we wanted to try and take some clips I guess rugby that was a bit more meaningful for us in the way that we need to facilitate it. So, all good. Cool. Anything else to add at all, guys? Comments, questions, concerns? No? Hopefully there was enough there to be able to take what we did on the field. Sorry about the lights again. Again, Sam's fault.
Can you find the switch?
The contractor called me back and said, "Oh, we can't get them on tonight. Sorry, mate. Thanks." Whether you called me